Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. And now that we're getting, into the holiday season or very close, I want to talk about stress. Now, before I do, I want to mention that the whole month of December is going to be really about taking care of you through the holiday season to help with stress levels. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, this is for you. And so all of December is going to be about, just taking care of you so you're not like super burnt out at the end of the holiday season. So I felt it was very fitting to start right now talking about stress. Now, stress can show up anytime in our life. It's not just the holidays, but I find that a lot of the time the holidays bring on our own kind of stress. And I'm not going to specialize like right into the holiday season per se, because you might not be listening to this at the holiday season. You might be listening to this in the summer. However, when you involve other people in your life, stresses can happen because they can push your buttons. So I had my fair share of stress in the summer over the summer with the move. So we decided to move actually before things shut down and things. We were about to put our house on the market for March break. And, that brought in its own stress where it's like, well, school's closed. No one was going to be going and looking at houses, or not many. And I couldn't travel to look at new homes. So that was a stress. We had a plan and it was, didn't work out. Then we finally had it. I had the stress of like, oh my goodness, I have to pick out a new house and all that stuff. So, and then the stress of moving and all these things. So I can definitely relate to stress. And it was very interesting walking through the stages of stress. So I had locked jaw. I had the craziest stomach pains ever. And then I would hurt myself, like not on purpose hurt myself, but like I sprained my thumb. It still hurts to this day. Like there's just so many things that happened that slowed me down. And it's really important. Like to know that your body tells you when you're stressed out. Like I knew I was stressed out and I wasn't slowing down enough. So it would show up for me. So, I had to take time out then to slow down and help heal my body. So when you're getting stressed out, it's important to take that time before your body yells at you so hard that you have to go see a doctor, or, ice your finger, or I can't even remember what I did for lockjaw. Exercises to help with my lockjaw. It's very important to slow it down before it gets so severe. Stress can show up in so many different forms. Like for me, it showed outside physically, but it can be internally, I guess the stomach was actually internal. And it's so incredible how stress can play a part in our life. And it's really, really important to work on techniques to help with stress. Sleep is super important. Of course, when stress comes in though, if it's so overly consuming, sleep can be the first thing that gets impacted with your life, because maybe you're overthinking things, or you just have your to-do, like it's just constantly going in a loop. And it's really important if it's sleep, to establish a really good sleeping pattern still if you can. And like for me, it was always meditation or visualization. And so just getting really clear on stress. So stress can be a really not a nice thing. So it's about catching it early on and listening to yourself and to your body. And sometimes you can't help things that are coming up for your life. Having both kids home instead of at school and daycare. We all experience that if we have children, where things got shut down and all of a sudden, our normal was not normal. And it's really important to not push those feelings down and to feel them. To take a deep breath and let it out. It's important not to let stress run our lives. So some of the stress we'll know when it, like what's coming up, and some of the times we will not. Like the lockjaw part happened when we were just waiting in between putting an offer in on a house, waiting it for to happen, and things like that. Like it just, those things. So it just, it's really important to take care of you in those situations. And when it comes to family and get-togethers, and actually this year in general could bring up so many different stresses. We're not even sure what the holiday season will look like. When I'm recording this, it's not even November yet. It's soon. Full disclosure, I'm recording this early. And at this moment, no one knows. So it's that stress of like, oh, what's it going to look like? What are we going to do? Are we going to see family? Things like that. And that can cause more stress. So even before the actual holiday season begins, we can be stressing out. So I think it's a really good time to start practicing some very, simple but important stress helpers per se, like some, tools from your self-care toolbox. And as the holidays begin, if you are going to be out, doing the normal, holiday stuff and things get busy, it's really important to remember that you matter and to take care of you as well. So that's why like December is going to be dedicated to me sharing self-care ideas and things like that. So right now, grab your day timer or your phone and schedule time for you. What are you going to do for you over the holidays? So you don't get lost in the to-dos of the holiday season or just in life in general. And write that down or put it in your phone as a reminder. Like what day is going to be for you? What are you going to do? I know for me, that was one of the big things I had to figure out while moving here in our whole world. I don't want to say our whole world changed, but our schedules definitely changed. And it's really important to figure out what are you going to do for you? And, what kind of things work for you? Like, is meditation a thing? Does that feel good to you? Journaling. And I know I've said this so many times before, but it's finding what works for you. It can just be focusing on your breath when things get too much. Breathing and focusing on your breath. Like a deep breath in and then a deep breath out. And it could just be as simple as that when you just kind of when you feel like you're a little in the stress loop. Also, just take some time to just do a check-in with yourself. Be like, okay, how am I feeling right now? What is going on for me? What's showing up? I know for me, my husband and I, like, because of his different schedule now, his different work schedule, so he can actually spend more time with us in the afternoon. It's very important to me in our relationship that we do little check-ins with ourselves, like as a couple. And it's funny because it's like, it's also important to do a check-in with ourselves, like personally. And, it could just be little check-ins, every couple hours or even every hour if you like. And just be like, okay, how am I feeling? And it's just so important to understand your signs of stress. Like the things that I experienced through our move, the stress signals, like I've never experienced lockjaw before. And the moment I had it, I was like, okay. And actually, it took me a long time, well, not a long time, I think a week before I actually acted upon doing more for it. Like it had to get really painful. And it sucks because like I'd like to say I'd like to know better because I talk about it all the time. And I just kept moving forward. And then eventually I was like, it was so bad that I had to deal with it. So I'm here to share with you, if stress is showing up in your life, try to deal with it before it's so painful. Because that lockjaw took longer to heal than it would have if I started, taking more time for myself, breathing it out a little bit more. And it's really just understanding. It's like, whoa, like something is showing up, and just slow it down. Because the more we pretend it's not happening, the more it's going to hurt and the longer it's going to take to heal. And yeah, just address it when it shows up, because it's not going to go away until you do. So take those moments. And like I said, throughout the month of December, I'm going to be, so for the next 4 weeks after this, I'm going to be talking about different things that will kind of help set you up for a very fun holiday season. If you really do love or need some more support in the self-care area for the holiday season, I highly recommend you check out my YouTube videos. I haven't done any new ones in a while, but I have heavily shared self-care ideas over the holiday seasons, years, like at least last year and the year before, and probably the year before that. Since I've been doing this, I very much focus on self-care over the holiday season, because I know from personal experience that I can get so lost in the holiday fun and the holiday cheer and taking care of people and making sure things, do I want to dare say the word perfect, or, feel, that they go perfectly, that I burn myself out before the end of the year. And then, I'm ringing the new year in, worn out and washed out kind of thing. And it's like, yay. And I have no energy to celebrate the new year. So it's important to have a balance, like everything in life. It's literally in every area of our life, having fun, taking care of other people, especially if you're a parent, and then also taking care of you. And, nothing's perfect. So neither are the holidays or anything in life. It's doing what works for your family and for you. And I've talked about so many things in over the holiday season about, finding your own groove over the holiday season. And it's the same thing. So if you feel like you're getting a little stressed out already, it's definitely time to schedule you into your daily life and schedule in general. Just put you in there. Make yourself a priority this holiday season. And if you need more tips on taking care of you, definitely check out my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the comments. And so important to take care of you so you can take care of others. You can't pour from an empty cup. It's one of my favorite things when taking care, like with self-care, is to think about, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And in fact, when you're running on empty, the longer you run on empty, the harder it is to fill back up. So if you're already feeling exhausted and worn out before the holiday season begins, it's even more important than ever to just book yourself in and make you a priority. Like book it in like in a dentist appointment or a doctor. Mind you, those things, a lot of people don't look at them as a happy thing. So if there's a negative thing, try and not to make it that way. It's about celebrating you and taking care of you, but it is priority. So put it in, make it non-negotiable, make you a priority. And I know it can be really hard, because I too am still finding my groove here as we move here, and my son's home full time. There's no daycare for him right now. Well, we probably could sign him up. Like, it's not like there's no daycares in our town, but we moved here, and it's just, finding our groove. So like, if you're not perfect at self-care or taking care of you, and it's not like an everyday thing, don't beat yourself up. I'm still finding my new groove. And, every part of our life is a new season. Like, every phase is like a new season, right? It's like when the weather changes. So right now it's fall for us. And, we went from we went from summer to fall. And it's finally on that transition, right? Some of the days might be warmer. So it's like, oh, I don't need that coat. Or, oh, the next day I need this coat or in a hat and mitts. And eventually, it's just you get in that new routine of the season. Every phase in our life has a season, even the holiday season. We have to find our footing. And it just means that we need to tweak things maybe and rediscover things about ourselves. Let things go. Maybe certain things that are going on in your life, are filling up your days and they no longer serve you. Find that groove and do what feels right. But again, when stress is coming in, try your best to meet it head on. Don't let it, rule your life and take over your life and get to the bottom of it right away. Because there's so many things can happen to our bodies because of stress. And I know for me, like a big one is like sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, that's where one of my big stressors start. So, and then some people, sleep isn't happening because of stress. So make sure you take care of you. And stress can just, again, show up in so many different in so many different ways. And then stress can be triggered by so many different things. So I would love to just be able to answer all your stress questions. However, everybody's stress situation is unique as well. So the big one is I recommend putting in some time to do something that lights you up. And also like self-care. And we're going to get right into that next week. But remember, make you a priority and do something that lights you up. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.